I'm back. This is an update. This is an update. This is an update.
You, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear.
I, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear.
That you will faithfully.
So, my hiatus from YouTube and social media and everything for the past couple of months hasn't gone completely unjustified. It goes with an absolute reason, and the reason is the fact that while I joined YouTube early in the summer, I also was coming up with the idea for developing a website where I could upload my own content and allow others to upload their own content as well, because I see a lot of flaws in the way that YouTube has its design and the way that they carry out their media functions on a day-to-day basis. So I wanted to create this platform and do all these different things to be able to allow users to upload their content and feel actually appreciated to the platform that they're uploading to, and create a whole community vibe that the creator felt like they were really being supported, appreciated, and all the above. Well, throughout the course of last semester, in the spring of 2017, I started to teach myself through different various online courses the language called HTML. Then it drove into CSS and JavaScript, and wow, that's really close. I wanted to build a website, essentially, like I was saying. And I wanted to build a website that had a lot of different features and functionality to it. It wasn't anything basic. So the problem is that a lot of the knowledge that I have acquired by this point really only essentially applies to what is called a static website. Now, a static website, that is so not even, okay. Static. Is that able to be seen? Yes, okay. So static website is essentially built with two languages. It can be built with other languages, of course, but these are the ones that are pretty much the most basic. When you go to a static website, you're looking at two languages, in my case again. And these two languages are called HTML and CSS. Now, these two languages are what I would like to refer to as the backbone for really any website nowadays. And those two can be used to do a lot of different things, like display simple text, even do videos, and even do, and of course like pictures and stuff too, because they're all low storage things, mainly pictures. Now, I had this built. I had it built not for the functionality of users, but I had it for the idea that I would be able to put all my content onto this website. And for the past 3 weeks specifically, I have been studying a website called GitHub. Now, this is a common website, and there's a chance that you may have heard of it. But what GitHub essentially is a website where you are able to upload these files into what is called a repository, and that repository is then posted on either a GitHub URL, which is a URL being like a domain name like facebook.com or youtube.com or something like that. But those are domains that you have to purchase because they're publicly your own domain. So when you upload to github.com, it gives you your own URL because it's like a free service unless you want to pay for things. But there was one thing that I overlooked. Well, there was actually two things I overlooked. And it was because I was so focused on actually building the website rather than applying the website. Which is, it comes and goes. You have issues and you're going to have those problems that come up along the way. But the thing is that I looked at the main idea of the website without the fact of what was on the website. That was the videos. And I figured, okay, I know that I should be able to upload this, but the problem is that my average video is anywhere from like 400 megabytes to like 630 megabytes. Now, the maximum upload for GitHub is 100 megabytes. That's a really small video. That's like a really small video. And I'm talking like probably a minute at most. And they also have this thing, GitHub has this program called Large Files, where you can actually compress your file and store it on GitHub and then use that. And it's just like this whole mess. And I'm not going to try to explain everything to you. But essentially the problem is that I was not able to upload this video or this whole profile, this whole website that I made to a file repository because the file repository I was going to use, GitHub, where it would take all the files and make them live, basically just, it didn't accept the push process of pushing all the files up there. So the whole thing kind of folded on itself. If you search and the domain for this was called vidclaster. I'll put it right here, vidclaster.com. That's vidklaster.com. You search the website, it's going to come up with, it's called a 404 error, and it's essentially that the website's live, but there's no files connected to the repository where it looks to push files into that actual website, where you would see, like, you know, like, again, for instance, like YouTube's main page, that's like all the files and everything. But when you search this, it would literally just come up with a 404 error because there's no files linked to it, because none of them were able to be pushed. So that's essentially what my issue has. So the thing is I'm a computer science major, and in computer science you learn a lot of different things. You learn a lot of what is mainly back-end information, because it's the harder stuff, essentially, what it is to learn. Learning how to design the website, learning HTML and CSS, it's stuff that can come if you just apply some work to it and you take some time to learn how to actually do it. The thing is with the curriculum I have now, I just barely had, you know, time to do it as it was, and I did as much as I possibly could with the time that I had. And at this point, I've now learned 1, 2, 3, like almost maybe 4 languages that apply to the development of this website. And I think that, well, I know that the next step is going to be figuring out how I can post my own content to a single website and get that website going live. And then the next thing is going to be allowing users to post their own content and actually even allow an application for them to get their videos monetized, so that they can earn some money based off of certain requirements that they meet that'll be totally clear in that coming website. But the other thing is you have to understand, programming a website like this takes thousands of lines of code to be able to really implement it, and understanding the way that the website, the display works in terms of the connection from that, and, you know, user logs in, they put in their basic information, and then it goes into what's called the server on the back end, and it logs all the information and it stores that. So when you go back to the website, you obviously have your login page and your username, and then you have all your content and everything saved. Understanding all that is one thing. Actually being able to apply it is another thing, and that's the part that I totally don't know how to do yet, and I'm still learning it. And well, I've just started learning it, essentially. I can't say that I'm a good programmer or a great programmer, but I'm a programmer, and getting to that point is something that is my goal, and I'm going to do it. It's just that it's going to take time, and fortunately in a few weeks I'm going to go on Christmas break or winter break, and I'm going to be able to have a lot more time to dedicate to this idea, and to be able to get a video going or get a website going, so that then you guys can see how it would actually look if you were to upload your own content in your own username, your own profile, stuff like that. And then it's going to take a lot of time to be able to, once that goes live, then I'm going to work on the user functionality of it, so that people are able to put your own content up there. That's what the plan is now. But additionally, you know, I also want to be back on YouTube too, because, you know, I see YouTube as an awesome opportunity to be able to upload really cool videos. Now, this is a talking video, and it's a lot of talking, and I'm aware of that, and I'm sure that that programming stuff, if you've never programmed a thing before in your life, made absolutely no sense to you. But if you do know any programming, it probably did. But my content's going to be so much different from this. It's going to be what it used to be, and it's going to be, you know, more creative, more fun, more enjoyable to watch, because, you know, I have so much stuff that I want to do while I'm on winter break, and then once I get on the summer break too, and I have a couple trips planning in the upcoming future too, and I'm going to make this a forum for me to be able to share those stories with you of wherever I go and whatever I do with you, and then of course I'll keep things going on my vlogging too sometimes. And then of course with my Finsta as well. But yeah, that's where I'm at. And to the people who genuinely enjoy my and to the people who genuinely enjoy my content, I'm sorry I haven't been here for so long. School is very stressful. I'm very overwhelmed. But I am going to be back now because this is so much fun for me. And because I think that there's a lot of creative things that I have to share and I'm going to share. And here is to the start of the second attempt at YouTube. And yeah, that's pretty much it.